The galactic discovery. The vast expanse of space had always beckoned humanity, its infinite darkness punctuated by the twinkling of distant stars. For centuries, we had dreamed of what lay beyond our own solar system, imagining fantastic worlds and alien civilizations. But nothing could have prepared us for the truth that awaited us among the stars. Dr. Elena Reyes stood at the helm of the ISS Horizon, Earth's first faster-than-light capable starship. Her dark eyes sparkled with excitement as she gazed out at the unfamiliar star system before them. After years of preparation and months of travel, they had finally arrived at Proxima Centauri, ready to make history as the first humans to set foot on an exoplanet. "All systems are go, Captain," reported Lieutenant Zhang from his station. "We're ready to begin our approach to Proxima." Elena nodded, a small smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "Take us in, nice and easy. Let's make our ancestors proud." As the horizon glided towards the Earth-like planet, a flurry of activity erupted on the bridge. Sensors were working overtime, gathering data on the atmosphere, gravity, and potential signs of life. But it was the communications officer, Ensign Patel, who made the discovery that would change everything. "Captain," Patil exclaimed, his voice trembling with a mixture of excitement and disbelief, "I'm picking up a signal. It's not natural." Elena's heart raced as she hurried to Patel's station. "Show me," she commanded, leaning in to examine the readout. The signal was weak but unmistakable, a repeating pattern that could only be artificial in origin. But that wasn't possible. Proxima was supposed to be uninhabited. Unless... "My God," Elena whispered, "we're not alone." The next few hours were a blur of activity as the crew of the Horizon prepared for potential first contact. Protocols that had been drilled into them countless times were now put to the test. Elena found herself both thrilled and terrified at the prospect of being the first human to communicate with an alien intelligence. As they entered orbit around Proxima, the source of the signal became clear. A massive structure, clearly artificial, loomed on the planet's surface. Its sleek, metallic form stood in stark contrast to the rugged landscape surrounding it. "I want a landing party ready in 10 minutes, Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "We're going down there." The descent to the planet's surface was tense, the shuttle buffeted by strong winds as it pierced the atmosphere. Elena gripped her seat tightly, her mind racing with possibilities. What would they find? Would the aliens be friendly, hostile, or something beyond their wildest imagination? As the shuttle touched down a safe distance from the alien structure, Elena took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. She donned her exosuit, checked the seals, and nodded to her team. "Remember your training," she said. "We're making history today." The airlock hissed open, and Elena stepped out onto the surface of Proxima, the first human to set foot on an exoplanet. The rocky ground crunched beneath her boots as she took in the alien landscape. Twin suns hung low in the sky, casting an eerie orange glow over everything. But it was the structure that dominated her attention. Up close, it was even more impressive. A towering spire of some unknown metal, etched with intricate patterns that seemed to shimmer and shift in the alien light. As they approached, a section of the structure suddenly began to move, panels sliding apart to reveal an entrance. Elena halted, holding up a hand to signal her team to stop. Her heart pounded in her chest as a figure emerged from the opening. The alien was tall and slender, with iridescent skin that seemed to ripple with colors. Its large, almond-shaped eyes regarded Elena and her team with what she hoped was curiosity rather than hostility. Elena stepped forward, her hands open in what she hoped was a universal gesture of peace. "We come in peace," she said, knowing the alien couldn't understand her words, but hoping her tone would convey her meaning. To her amazement, the alien responded in perfect English. "We have been waiting for you, children of Earth. It is time for you to reclaim your legacy." Elena blinked in surprise, struggling to process what she had just heard. You speak our language. How is that possible?" The alien's expression shifted into something that might have been a smile. "We have watched your kind for a very long time, Elena Reyes. But perhaps it would be more accurate to say that we have been waiting for you to return." "Return?" Elena echoed, confusion evident in her voice. "What do you mean?" The alien gestured towards the entrance of the structure. "Come. There is much you need to see. The truth of your origins, of humanity's true history, lies within." As Elena and her team followed the alien into the structure, they found themselves in a vast chamber filled with holographic displays and strange artifacts. But it was what the displays showed that took their breath away. Images of ancient human civilizations on distant worlds, of technologies far beyond what they currently possessed, of a galactic empire that had spanned the stars. This can't be real," Elena muttered, her mind reeling from the implications. The alien's voice was gentle but firm. "It is real, Elena. Your people were once the masters of this galaxy, but a great calamity befell you, scattering your ancestors across the stars, erasing your history, and reducing you to primitive societies on a single world." As Elena absorbed this incredible information, alarms suddenly blared from their communicators. Lieutenant Zheng's voice crackled through the channel, tight with tension. "Captain, we've got company. Multiple ships have just entered the system, and they're not responding to our hails." Elena exchanged a look with the alien, whose expression had grown grave. "It seems," the alien said, "that not everyone is pleased by your return. The deception that has kept humanity ignorant of its true nature is about to be shattered, and the galaxy will never be the same." As Elena rushed back to the shuttle, her mind raced with the implications of what she had learned. Humanity's forgotten past was about to collide with its present, and she had a feeling that the consequences would reshape the very fabric of galactic civilization. The adventure had only just begun, and Elena Reyes, along with the rest of humanity, was about to embark on a journey that would challenge everything they thought they knew about themselves and their place in the universe, unraveling the mystery. The journey back to the horizon was a blur of adrenaline and urgency. As their shuttle broke through Proxima's atmosphere, Elena's mind raced with the revelations she had just encountered. The weight of humanity's forgotten history pressed heavily upon her shoulders. "Status report," Elena barked as she burst onto the bridge, still clad in her exosuit. Lieutenant Zheng's fingers flew over his console. "5 unidentified vessels have entered the system, Captain. They're on an intercept course." Elena's jaw clenched. "Hail them again." Ensign Patel shook his head. "Still no response, Captain. But there's something odd about their energy signatures. They don't match anything in our database." Before Elena could respond, the ship's AI chimed in. "Captain, I'm detecting a quantum entanglement signal originating from the planet's surface. It appears to be communicating with our systems." Suddenly, holographic displays sprang to life around the bridge, filling the air with streams of data and unfamiliar schematics. Elena watched in awe as the ship's systems began to reconfigure themselves, unlocking capabilities they never knew existed. "What's happening?" she whispered, half to herself. The alien's voice, somehow transmitted directly into the ship's communication system, answered her. "We are awakening the dormant systems within your vessel, Elena Reyes. The horizon is more than just a ship. It is a key to unlocking humanity's legacy." As the crew watched in amazement, the horizon's hull began to shimmer and change. New structures emerged, weapon systems came online, and a strange, ethereal energy field enveloped the ship. "Incoming transmission from the unidentified vessels," Paddle reported, his voice tight with tension. A harsh, guttural voice filled the bridge. "Attention, human vessel. You have entered restricted space and accessed forbidden technology. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded, or you will be destroyed." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Like hell we will," she muttered. Then, louder, "Ensign Patel, open a channel." She took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders. "This is Captain Elena Reyes of the Earth ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and understanding. We have no quarrel with you." The response was immediate and aggressive. "Your very presence here is an act of war, humans. You were never meant to leave your pitiful world. Stand down or face the consequences." As the transmission cut off, Elena turned to her crew. "Battle stations. Zhang, what are we working with here?" The lieutenant's eyes were wide as he scanned the new readouts. "Captain, you're not going to believe this. We've got energy shields that could withstand a supernova, weapons that can target on a quantum level, and is that a dimensional drive?" Elena allowed herself a small, fierce grin. "Well then, let's show these bullies what humanity is capable of. Evasive maneuvers and return fire only if fired upon." The space around Proxima erupted into chaos. The alien ships, sleek and predatory, launched a barrage of energy weapons at the horizon, but the attacks splashed harmlessly against the ship's newfound defenses. "They're trying to lock us down with some kind of tractor beam," Zhang reported. Elena nodded. "Activate the dimensional drive. Let's see what this baby can do." The horizon shimmered and seemed to fold in on itself, reappearing instantly on the other side of the planet. The alien ships, caught off guard, scrambled to regroup. "Send a tight beam transmission to the surface," Elena ordered. "We need more information." The alien's voice came through once more. "The beings attacking you are known as the Primati. They are part of a coalition that has long sought to keep humanity contained and ignorant of its true nature. But now that you have begun to awaken, they fear what you might become." As the battle raged on, Elena and her crew found themselves tapping into knowledge and abilities they never knew they possessed. It was as if the ship itself was teaching them, guiding their actions with the accumulated wisdom of countless generations. Hours passed in a blur of tactical maneuvers and bursts of weapons fire. The horizon danced through space, always one step ahead of its pursuers. Finally, as the twin suns of Proxima Centauri began to set, the alien ships broke off their attack and retreated to the edge of the system. Exhausted but exhilarated, Elena sagged into her captain's chair. "Stand down from battle stations," she ordered, "but maintain full sensor suites. I doubt they're gone for good." As the adrenaline of battle faded, the enormity of what they had discovered began to sink in. Elena turned to her crew, seeing the same mix of wonder and apprehension on their faces that she felt herself. "We need answers," she said firmly. "Prepare a landing party. We're going back down there." This time, when they descended to the surface of Proxima, they were met not just by their alien guide, but by a diverse group of beings from across the galaxy. Each seemed to regard the humans with a mixture of hope and trepidation. "Welcome, children of Earth," their guide said, gesturing to the assembled aliens. "These are representatives of the Galactic Concord, those who have long awaited humanity's return." One of the aliens, a being that seemed to be composed of living crystal, stepped forward. "We have much to discuss, Captain Reyes. The awakening of humanity's potential will send shockwaves throughout the galaxy. There are those, like the Primati, who will stop at nothing to prevent your ascension." Elena nodded gravely. "We're ready to learn. But I need to know, why was our history hidden from us? Why were we left alone on Earth, ignorant of our true nature?" The crystalline being's facets shimmered with what might have been sadness. "It was meant to protect you. Eons ago, your ancestors faced a threat so great that it nearly wiped out all sentient life in the galaxy. In a last, desperate act, they scattered their children across the stars, hiding your true potential behind mental and genetic locks. The hope was that you would evolve naturally, freed from the burdens of your past." Another alien, this one seeming to shift between gaseous and solid forms, added, "But now, the ancient enemy stirs once more. The galaxy needs humanity to remember, to awaken, to become what you were always meant to be." Elena felt the weight of history, of destiny, settling on her shoulders. She thought of Earth, of all the people going about their lives, unaware of the incredible legacy that awaited them. She thought of the wonders and terrors that lay ahead, of the battles yet to be fought. All right, she said, her voice steady and determined. Where do we start? As Elena and her crew delved deeper into the mysteries of their forgotten past, they knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with danger and discovery. The galaxy was waiting, and humanity was about to reclaim its place among the stars. The Great Deception. The following weeks were a whirlwind of discovery and preparation. The crew of the Horizon, along with their new alien allies, worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of humanity's past and prepare for the challenges that lay ahead. Elena stood in the newly discovered Hall of Memories, a vast chamber within the alien structure on Proxima. The holographic displays surrounded her, each one revealing another piece of humanity's forgotten history. It's almost too much to believe, she murmured, watching scenes of ancient humans commanding vast fleets of starships, reshaping planets, and harnessing the power of entire stars. Her alien guide, whom she had come to know as Zyrex, nodded solemnly. Your ancestors were capable of wonders beyond imagination, Elena. But with great power came great responsibility and great temptation. As if on cue, the holograms shifted, showing scenes of devastation and war on a galactic scale. Elena watched in horror as entire solar systems were obliterated, civilizations crumbled, and the fabric of space-time itself was torn asunder. What happened? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Zyrex's multifaceted eyes seemed to dim with sorrow. A faction of your people, drunk on their own power, sought to remake the galaxy in their image. They called themselves the Shapers, and their actions threatened to unravel the very foundations of reality. The holograms now showed a desperate battle, with forces from across the galaxy uniting against the Shapers. At the forefront were humans, fighting against their own kind to save existence itself. In the end, the Shapers were defeated, but at a terrible cost. Zyrex continued. Those who remained of your people made a painful decision. To prevent such devastation from ever happening again, they locked away the knowledge and power of your civilization, scattering humanity across the stars with their memories and abilities suppressed. Elena's mind reeled with the implications. But why are we awakening now? Why risk unleashing this power again? Before Zyrex could answer, alarms blared throughout the structure. Lieutenant Zheng's voice crackled over the comm system. Captain, we've got a situation up here. A massive fleet just dropped out of FTL at the edge of the system. They're hailing us. Elena's jaw set in determination. I'm on my way. Zyrex, I need you with me. As they raced back to the horizon, Elena's mind was a turbulent mix of emotions. The weight of humanity's past, both its glories and its sins, pressed heavily upon her. The bridge of the horizon was a flurry of activity when Elena arrived. The main view screen showed a vast armada of ships, their designs varied but all bristling with weaponry. Open a channel, Elena commanded, straightening her uniform. The screen flickered, revealing a stern-faced alien with steel-gray skin and piercing yellow eyes. I am High Commander Vexthor of the Galactic Peacekeeping Force, the alien intoned. You will power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. The humans must be contained before they unleash destruction upon the galaxy once more. Elena felt a surge of defiance. This is Captain Elena Reyes of Earth. We have no intention of repeating the mistakes of the past. We seek only to understand our history and find our place in the galaxy. Vexthor's eyes narrowed. Your very existence is a threat, human. The Primati were fools to engage you directly. We will not make the same mistake. You have one planetary rotation to surrender, or we will be forced to take more permanent measures. As the transmission cut off, Elena turned to her crew and alien allies. Options. Zyrex stepped forward. There is one possibility. Beneath this planet's surface lies a network of ancient human defense systems. If we can reactivate them, we might stand a chance. But, Elena prompted, sensing the hesitation in Zyrex's voice. But to do so would require fully unlocking your latent abilities, Captain. The process is dangerous and irreversible, and it would alert other factions across the galaxy to humanity's reawakening. Elena closed her eyes, weighing the magnitude of the decision before her. When she opened them again, there was steel in her gaze. We didn't come this far to be turned back now. What do I need to do? The next hours were a blur of preparation and tense waiting. Deep beneath the surface of Proxima, Elena lay in a chamber of swirling energy, her mind connected to vast networks of ancient knowledge. As the planetary rotation neared its end, Elena's eyes snapped open, glowing with an inner light. She sat up, her movements fluid and purposeful, as if she had been born anew. "'Tis time," she said, her voice resonating with newfound power. On the bridge of the horizon, the crew watched in awe as Elena took her place at the helm. Her fingers danced over controls that hadn't existed mere hours before, awakening systems that had lain dormant for millennia. The surface of Proxima seemed to ripple, massive structures rising from hidden depths. A shimmering energy field enveloped the planet and the horizon, just as Vex Thor's fleet opened fire. But their weapons found no purchase. Instead, tendrils of energy lashed out from the planet's defense grid, disabling ship after ship with pinpoint accuracy. Elena's voice, amplified by technology beyond current human understanding, echoed across space. "We will not be erased. We will not be contained. Humanity remembers, and we choose a path of peace, but we will defend ourselves if threatened." The battle was over almost before it began. Vex Thor's mighty armada hung impotent in space, their systems overridden by Elena's newfound mastery of long-forgotten technologies. As the dust settled, Elena turned to her stunned crew. "Send out a broadcast on all frequencies, all languages. It's time for the galaxy to know the truth." What followed was a revelation that shook the foundations of galactic society. The true history of humanity, their fall from power, and the conspiracy to keep them ignorant were laid bare for all to see. Across the galaxy, hidden enclaves of humanity began to awaken, their suppressed abilities surging to the surface. On Earth, people looked to the skies with new understanding, as the veil of ignorance was finally lifted. But with awakening came danger. The descendants of the Shapers, long hidden, saw an opportunity to reclaim their terrible legacy. And in the dark spaces between stars, an ancient enemy stirred, sensing the return of their old adversaries. As reports flooded in from across the galaxy, Elena stood on the bridge of the horizon, her eyes alight with the knowledge of ages. The next chapter of humanity's story was about to unfold, and she knew that the greatest challenges and the greatest wonders still lay ahead. "Plot a course for Earth," she commanded, her voice filled with determination. "It's time to go home." Humanity unleashed. The return journey to Earth was anything but uneventful. As the horizon cut through the fabric of space-time, leaving Proxima Centauri behind, the crew found themselves at the center of a galaxy in turmoil. Elena stood on the bridge, her eyes closed in concentration as she processed vast amounts of information streaming directly into her mind. The unlocking of her latent abilities had transformed her into something more than human, a living conduit to humanity's collective past and potential future. "Captain," Lieutenant John called out, his voice tinged with awe and a hint of fear. "We're receiving thousands of transmissions from, well, everywhere." Elena nodded, her eyes opening to reveal swirling galaxies within their depths. "I know. Humanity is awakening, all across the stars. Every hidden enclave, every lost colony. They're all remembering who they truly are." The main view screen flickered to life, showing scenes from dozens of worlds. On some, humans were emerging from hidden bunkers, their eyes glowing with newfound power. On others, oppressed human populations were rising up against their alien overlords, ancient technologies activating at their command. But not all the news was positive. Reports were coming in of brutal crackdowns on human populations, of entire systems being quarantined by fearful alien governments. And in the shadows, whispers of the Shapers' return sent shivers down the spines of those who remembered the old legends. "We need to get to Earth," Elena said, her voice firm with resolve. Our homeworld must be protected and prepared for what's coming. As if in response to her words, alarms blared across the ship. Ensign Patel's fingers flew over his console. Multiple hostiles incoming. It's a joint task force. I'm seeing ships from at least a dozen different species. Alina's eyes narrowed. So they've decided to set aside their differences to face the human threat. Typical. She turned to her crew, her voice ringing with authority. Battle stations. But remember, we're not here to conquer. Our goal is to survive and make it home. What followed was a battle that would be remembered in song and story for generations to come. The Horizon, guided by Alina's intuitive command of its advanced systems, danced through space like a thing alive. Energy weapons lashed out, not to destroy, but to disable. Dimensional shifts allowed them to be in multiple places at once, confounding their attackers. And all the while, Alina broadcasted a message of peace and understanding to their adversaries, her words bypassing language barriers to speak directly to hearts and minds. Hours passed in a blur of tactical maneuvers and bursts of weapons fire. Slowly but surely, the tide of the battle turned. Ship after ship stood down, their crews shaken by the display of power tempered with mercy. As the last of their attackers retreated, a cheer went up from the Horizon's crew. But Alina's expression remained solemn. "This was just the beginning," she said softly. "The real challenges still lie ahead." The final approach to Earth was fraught with tension. As they entered the solar system, they found it in a state of chaos. The sudden awakening of humanity's latent abilities had upended the global order. Governments were in disarray, trying to cope with citizens who could suddenly reshape matter with a thought or tap into vast reservoirs of ancient knowledge. Alina's heart ached as she saw the fear and confusion on the faces of her fellow humans. "Take us into orbit," she commanded, "and prepare for planetary broadcast." As the Horizon settled into Earth orbit, Alina closed her eyes, reaching out with her enhanced abilities. She connected with the nascent network of awakened humans across the planet, her consciousness bridging the gap between individuals. When she spoke, her voice resonated not just through communication systems, but directly in the minds of every human on Earth. "People of Earth," she began, her words carrying the weight of eons, "I know you're scared. I know the world as you knew it has been turned upside down. But this is not an ending. It's a beginning. We are remembering who we truly are, reclaiming a legacy both glorious and terrible." Images flowed along with her words, the triumphs and tragedies of humanity's forgotten past, the wonders they had achieved, and the devastation they had wrought. "We stand at a crossroads," Alina continued. "We can let fear drive us, repeating the mistakes of our ancestors, or we can choose a new path, using our reawakened abilities not for dominion, but for creation and exploration." As she spoke, something remarkable began to happen. All across the planet, conflicts ceased. People stepped back from the brink of chaos, their minds open to possibilities they had never before imagined. But even as hope blossomed on Earth, new threats loomed on the horizon. The Shapers, those who had once nearly destroyed the galaxy in their quest for power, were stirring. Their agents, hidden for millennia, began to emerge from the shadows, and beyond the edges of known space, an ancient enemy, the very force that had driven humanity to such desperate measures eons ago, sensed the reawakening of its old adversary. As Alina opened her eyes, returning her consciousness fully to the bridge of the horizon, she found her crew looking to her with a mixture of awe and expectation. "What now, Captain?" Lieutenant Zhang asked, voicing the question on everyone's mind. Alina's gaze turned to the view screen, to the blue marble of Earth hanging in the void. Her eyes, still swirling with celestial light, held a fierce determination. "Now," she said, her voice resonating with the power of newfound purpose, "we prepare, we learn, we grow, and we face whatever comes next, together." As if in response to her words, the ship's systems hummed to life, displays filling with information about long-lost human outposts and hidden caches of advanced technology scattered across the galaxy. The next phase of humanity's journey was about to begin. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see what this reborn species would do with their second chance at shaping the cosmos. A new galactic order. The years following humanity's great awakening were a time of unprecedented change and challenge. Earth, once a backwater planet ignorant of its place in the cosmos, had become the focal point of galactic politics and power struggles. Elena Reyes, now serving as humanity's primary representative to the wider galaxy, stood in the newly constructed Nexus Tower in New Geneva. The gleaming structure of impossibly smooth metal and pulsing energy conduits served as both Earth's link to the stars and a symbol of humanity's rebirth. She gazed out at the city below, marveling at how much had changed. Anti-gravity vehicles zipped between buildings that seemed to defy physics. Parks floated in the sky, their ecosystems sustained by recovered terraforming technology. And everywhere, humans went about their daily lives with abilities that would have seemed godlike just a few years ago. "Quite a view, isn't it?" a familiar voice said behind her. Elena turned to see Zyrex, her old alien guide, now Earth's ambassador to the Galactic Concord. "Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come," she admitted. Zyrex's multifaceted eyes shimmered with what Elena had come to recognize as amusement. And yet, the greatest challenges still lie ahead. As if on cue, a holographic display sprang to life in the center of the room. It showed a map of the galaxy, with pulsing red indicators scattered across its spiral arms. "The Shapers?" Elena asked, her voice tight. Zyrex nodded gravely. "Their influence grows. Many of the younger races, awed by promises of power and technological advancement, are flocking to their banner." Elena's eyes narrowed as she studied the map. The Shapers, those renegade humans from eons past who had nearly destroyed the galaxy in their quest for dominion, were proving to be a formidable foe. Their agents had infiltrated governments, sowed discord, and tempted many with forbidden knowledge. "And what of the precursors?" she asked, referring to the ancient enemy that had driven humanity to such desperate measures in the first place. "Still no direct sign of them," Zyrex replied. "But our long-range sensors have detected anomalies at the galaxy's edge. It's only a matter of time." Elena closed her eyes, reaching out with her enhanced senses. She could feel the network of awakened humanity spread across the stars, their minds linked in a vast, collective consciousness. She felt their hopes, their fears, their determination. "We've made mistakes in the past," she said, opening her eyes. "We won't repeat them. Assemble the council. It's time to make our stand." Hours later, Elena stood before the Galactic Council, a body representing every sentient species in the known galaxy. The chamber, carved into the heart of a neutron star, hummed with barely contained energy and tension. "Fellow sentients," Elena began, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber, "we stand at a crossroads. The Shapers threaten to plunge us into an age of tyranny and destruction. The precursors, an enemy we barely remember, loom on the horizon. We have two choices. We can bicker amongst ourselves, fight over scraps of power, and face our doom divided. Or we can stand together." Murmurs rippled through the assembly. Elena pressed on, her words imbued with the weight of humanity's rediscovered legacy. "Humanity remembers its past mistakes. We've seen the cost of unchecked ambition and the dangers of power without wisdom. That's why we propose a new path forward, a galactic federation, where every race has a voice, where power is balanced, and where we can face our challenges united." What followed was a debate that would be remembered for millennia. Species that had been bitter enemies found common ground. Age-old rivalries were set aside in the face of greater threats, and through it all, humanity, so recently reawakened to its true nature, served as a bridge, their unique perspective helping to find compromises where none seemed possible. As the council session stretched into its third day, a new threat emerged. The Shapers, realizing their window of opportunity was closing, launched a desperate assault on the Council itself. Reality itself seemed to warp as Shaper vessels, twisted mockeries of ancient human technology, tore through the neutron star's defenses. But they found humanity and its allies ready. Alina stood at the forefront of the battle, her consciousness linked with the vast network of human minds across the galaxy. Together, they wielded power that dwarfed even the mighty Shapers. Stars were moved, wormholes were woven and unwoven. The very fabric of space-time became a battlefield as two visions for the future of the galaxy clashed. In the end, it was not raw power that decided the day, but the unity and determination of the allied species. The Shapers, for all their might, fought alone. The defenders of the Council fought as one. As the last Shaper vessel was neutralized, a cheer went up that echoed across the stars. Species that had distrusted each other for eons embraced as brothers in arms. And at the center of it all stood humanity, no longer the upstart children of the galaxy, but its guardians and mediators. In the aftermath of the battle, the Galactic Federation was born. A new era of cooperation and exploration dawned. But even as the allied species celebrated their victory, Alina's gaze turned to the darkness between the stars. The precursors were still out there, an ancient and implacable foe. But this time, humanity would not face them alone. This time, they had a galaxy of allies at their side. As the first joint fleets of the Galactic Federation prepared to venture into the unknown, Alina stood on the bridge of the horizon, now the flagship of humanity's contribution to the Federation forces. Her crew, a mix of humans and aliens, looked to her with trust and determination. "Plot a course for the Galactic Rim," she commanded, her voice filled with the promise of new adventures and challenges to come. "Let's remind the universe why humanity was once both feared and revered." The Horizon's engines hummed to life, its advanced systems interfacing seamlessly with the ships of a dozen other species. As they accelerated towards the edge of known space, Alina felt a sense of pride and purpose. Humanity had rediscovered its past, faced its demons, and forged a new destiny. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but also filled with wonders beyond imagination. And they would face it all together, as part of a united galaxy. As the stars streaked by, Alina allowed herself a small smile. The greatest adventure in human history was just beginning.